Logan Paul finally has one of his friends keep it real with him, call him out, and tell him what he needs to hear. And he did it in person to Logan's face on this latest Impulsive episode where Logan and his team and friends are addressing the Coffeezilla crypto scam allegations. Let's get into it.
And I have a vision and an idea of these things, and then I say, Jeff, here's what I want to make. Here's what I want to do. And then people are put in place to attempt to make that happen. And when it was found out that either A, they had ill intent, or B, were incapable of doing it, and then really hit the fan, what do I do? What do I do?
I actually have an answer for that.
Here we go.
When you're on the top rope at WWE and you're going like this after a crazy show and the audience is going crazy, when you're bringing Prime into the table and people are drinking it, being like, how the is this product this good? When you're doing these absolute, like, we're watching a superhero kill these side quests day after day after day after day, none of these quests would be completed without your team. And when you win, we celebrate together. What I need this team to start doing is when you guys take a dip, you gotta stop pointing the fingers at each other.
When all this broke, when we were...
Finally, someone kept it real with Logan. Because if you guys watched his response video to Coffeezilla, all he was doing was pointing the finger back at Coffeezilla. And if you went back to the beginning of this clip, you notice that Logan refers to talking to his manager, Jeff, here on this left side, in terms of, in a way that if Logan needs something done, he just bothers Jeff and like, Jeff, I need something done. Jeff, what's going on? Jeff, what's going on? Instead of being like, okay, maybe I need to fix something. Watch.
And I have a vision and an idea of these things, and then I say, Jeff, here's what I want to make. Here's what I want to do. And then people are put in place to attempt to make that happen. And when it was found out that either A, they had ill intent.
So it's a common theme in this video and these other clips from this interview where we're going to see that Logan doesn't seem to be overseeing his projects, especially this Cryptozoo project, but instead just passes it off to his manager, Jeff, and then continually hounds Jeff when things aren't going properly, instead of looking himself in the mirror like George said.
When you're doing these absolute, like, we're watching a superhero kill these side quests day after day after day after day, none of these quests would be completed without your team. And when you win, we celebrate together. What I need this team to start doing is when you guys take a dip, you gotta stop pointing the fingers at each other.
And if we go to another part in this interview, we see again where George Janko calls out Logan and tells him that you need to be overseeing your people and you can't just pass off the responsibility of something going awry to your manager and to the rest of your team. You need to be overseeing it.
The only thing that would just make a tweak of a difference is you're so creative that you're like, here's the idea, here's the process, here's the vision. Now this person's gonna do this, person's gonna do this, I'm gonna move on, and you're a creative. So all I would say is now...
Real quick, you have this idea, this idea, this idea, you grab this person, this team, and then you move on. He's hinting at that Logan doesn't really pay attention to the process and who's working on his projects, which has his name behind it, which is something he should do.
Now this person's gonna do this, person's gonna do this, I'm gonna move on, and you're a creative.
I'm gonna move on.
So all I would say is now is just like those the dev team, pick one person that is your right hand and make sure that that person is every day. If this guy shits or eats a sandwich at lunch, I want to fucking know.
I mean, George, again, we did. It's part of the reason Originals worked so well.
All he has to do is just say, yeah, you're right, I should have done that. But Logan just seems too full of himself and like he doesn't want to admit mistakes with this crypto scam.
We found the guy, and he's fucking good. And we found a team that we can actually rely on to get things done.
Most important.
And then also that was a learning process for me because
here we go.
Originals is a relatively easy project. I think it's easy to understand anyways, right?
Yeah.
One picture
Not
goes
easy build.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. One picture goes live a day. It's a 24-hour auction. The next goes up. This thing took months to build, and there were so many delays, and I was frustrated with the build. But
again,
as is always going to be the case.
Sure,
Jeff, because I'm reporting directly to you, and you're reporting directly to me.
Of course.
See right there, Jeff, his manager said, Well, you're actually frustrated with me. You take it out on me because I'm overseeing. I'm reading between the lines here, but it sounds like Jeff is saying, you take it out on me and get frustrated with me because I'm the one actually overseeing this whole process, not you, Logan. And based on the other things George said, this seems to be the case. A common theme where Logan does not oversee his projects that has his name on it and his fans' money gets put into such things, but instead he just passes it off to his manager.
I was frustrated with the bill that, but
again.
Frustrated with me.
As is always going to be the case.
Sure,
Jeff,
I'd
because
take it.
I'm reporting directly to you, and you're reporting directly to me.
Of course.
I'm reporting directly to you. You're reporting directly to me. It seems like his manager really does most of the work. Logan has these ideas, and then he says, Jeff, get this guy, put it together for me. Not good, Logan. You need to be overseeing it like George said. Obviously have a right-hand man that's going to give you the word on how things are going, but you as well should jump in as the overseer to see if things are actually going properly. Because after all, your name is behind it. And the last clip I want to show you guys is a great clip where in this really saving face interview on Impulsive, where Logan's trying to save his face, really without apologizing, and he's just attacking Coffeezilla. And Mike, his buddy on the right, is really just backing him up, which I'm going to show you guys a little funny clip a little bit after this about Mike, which is kind of funny and shows maybe the guilt that he's admitting on his face. But you have this whole episode where they're trying to save face and then about their reputation, what they've gone through. And George brings up a very interesting point, which we've all been thinking about. And it doesn't have anything to do with Logan, his team, how they're feeling, but it has to do with how Logan's fans feel who put their money into this scammy crypto project.
You're seeing it from your guys' point of view, which is obvious because it's your point of view, and you are not a scammer. You don't hurt people. You don't do these type of things. So it's gonna affect your heart because you didn't do that. And for the world to look at you in that type of way, it's very drowning. It feels like you can't breathe because people are already painting you out to be something you're not. But put a pin in that. Over here are people that root for you, that look at you like something they want to be like, they want to achieve like. And so when they invested in your project, and they're remember, they don't have our lifestyle, so they're working paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck. So when they go, fuck yeah, Logan's involved in this, I know it's going to win because I've watched this guy win, and I want to be like this fucking guy. So I'm going to invest my hard-earned money. From their point of view, I get your guys' point of view because you're dealing with a legal team, you're dealing with all the people that did you wrong. But from their stance, they go, how dare you go and open up 2 other projects when I just wasted my hard-earned money on something that I believed you would do. So this is a point of view that they don't care what you feel like and what Coffeezilla feels like. They want to demand answers for their own money.
Yeah.
100%.
So what do you say to the people that watched you make the project where you're taking pictures and all the other projects? Yeah. How does it feel for you in your seat where your team's saying, hey, shut up, don't bring this up. We're going to bring this back in the future and all the answers will be explained. How does it feel knowing that you couldn't speak up in time and now you look like this villain, and no disrespect, you look like a piece of shit to the people that are like, yo, fuck this guy sitting on millions of dollars, always trying to get attention, and now he doesn't give a fuck about us, so he's not going to speak out about it until this other fucking dude's going to speak out, and now this cocksucker is going to talk now.
First off, before we get to Logan's response, thank you, George, for keeping it real with Logan to his face on the show. Now, he was a little soft with some other things, but to say that, thank you. Because Mike sure as hell didn't. Even though in the beginning of the episode, Mike claimed that he was going to be hard and not pull any punches. Here we go.
Until this other fucking dude's going to speak out, and now this cocksucker is going to talk now.
Great question.
Very good question.
The answer is fucking heartbreaking, George. I'll get emotional even speaking about it right now, but this is what broke me. People relied on me to create a project, and when shit wasn't working out and I found out the extent of just how bad things were behind the scenes, I had to rely on my team. I crumbled internally, and the advice was, while actual legal process was going on because of criminal investigation taking place that Coffeezilla highlighted in his series, I had to stay silent. And for a fucking year, I'm hounding Jeff.
See?
Hounding Jeff. How do we make this right? What's the status of the game?
But they
Where
don't
are
see
we
that.
at?
They don't see that. That's crazy.
See, that's what I mean. Again, he's hounding his manager, Jeff. He's not really overseeing this project that has his name on it, that has his fans putting their money into, all because of the name and reputation of Logan Paul. But yet, when he has something that has his name on it and his fans are putting their money into, is he really overseeing it? No. He's relying on his team, his manager, and
In his series,
here we go.
I had to stay silent. And for a fucking year, I'm hounding Jeff.
Hounding Jeff.
Hounding Jeff. How do we make this right? What's the status of the game?
But they
Where
don't
are
So he ain't really overseeing it. That's the biggest takeaway I have from this video. I wanted you guys to see that George Janko calls him out properly. And I recommend you go watch the whole episode, or at least parts of it, because it really just shows that Logan's not even being honest. And if we look down here, we can see the like to dislike ratio. 40,000 dislikes to 15,000 likes. People are seeing through the BS. And when you go through tons and tons of the comments, you see how many people see the contradictions like this. You can't praise Coffeezilla as a journalist, like Logan did, and then say the only time he lied was against you, Logan. There's so many comments in here. And even on Logan's response video on his main channel, 247,000 dislikes to 70,000 likes. People see through the BS. And one last funny thing I wanted to show you about, really, in my opinion, can tell a lot about how honest they're being in this episode or dishonest, is the look on Mike Malak's face during this episode. It's constant. He looks down. He looks sorrowful. He doesn't look as enthusiastic as normal. And someone on Twitter put, when your homie's girl is grilling him about him cheating, and you got to back him up, but you were there when he was cheating. Because this is how Mike looked throughout the episode. Was just like serious, like just acting like everything's cool. Like he's not himself. Probably because he knows a lot of the stuff that Logan's saying is just not honest. But good on George Janko for calling him out on this stuff. And bad on Logan for not overseeing his own project. And now, only a year later, after Coffeezilla brings all this to light, now he's talking about it. Now he's trying to fix the situation. Not impressed, Logan, but impressed with George. If you guys want to see more videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
If this guy shits or eats a sandwich at lunch, I want to fucking know.